What's good, everybody? My name is the PsychoTutor, and today we're talking about college. Is it an asset or liability? Let's find out. What's good? If you're watching this on the day it's released, today is Wednesday, so we're talking about anonymous advice. And it's a question that I thought about that really doesn't need much of a request, but I think it may be able to help somebody in the long term. So I'm going to talk about it. Just in general, I'm going to talk about what an asset is, what a liability is, and just the idea of how to make sure that college stays an asset, not a liability. Now, first things first, what is an asset? An asset, long story short, is just anything that consistently puts money in your pocket. So, for example, a lot of people have the idea of confusing what an asset is. If you have a car, then a car can very well be an asset if you're using it for reasons of putting money in your pocket. If you're using your car for it to be your car, then that's a liability because you're not really making any use out of it. But it could be an asset in the long run. Some people buy a car for $20,000, use the car for, let's say, 5 to 10 years, keep the quality of the vehicle up, and then sell it for, $20,000, $30,000. So overall, you're getting your money back and you still was able to make use with it. So that's an asset. Liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. So for example, the Netflix account that we all have, going to school, obviously, college, and many other different varieties of things, such as Skillshare, YouTube Red, Hulu, all of those things are liabilities because it's every month, whether we would like it to or not, based off the accounts that we have with it, it's taking money out of our accounts. And that's a liability. Now, not all liabilities are bad. Not all assets are, technically good. It may sound weird saying that, but I think it's just the idea of knowing how to manipulate it and really use it in a way that you're aware of. And so long as you're able to keep control of it in a way that you're able to monitor it and really make sure that in the long run it's doing you good, then that way, that's how you're able to really manage not only your funds, but keep your stability above the ground. So what does this have to do with college? In my opinion, college isn't a necessity, depending on what you want to do with your life. I'm a strong believer of the idea that it's highly important to know what we want to do with our lives first, and then after we know what we want to do, then every waking day, not only do we enjoy our lives, but our entire reason of having ambition throughout our lives is to seek and attaining what we think that we want in our lives. So say for example, if I was crazy and I wanted to be a professional skydiver or something, just something random, then my idea would see, what kind of credentials or what kind of training would I need to go to work at a facility or work at something like tandem skydiving. Anything that's out there that allow me to not only skydive on a regular basis or a weekly basis, but more importantly, it would also be important that, I'm able to maintain some type of financial stability off of it, or knowing how to invest and make passive income that could allow me to do that without having to worry about starving to death. Briefly, how is this important to something like college? What does college have to do with liability and asset? I think that a lot of people go to college and they don't particularly know what they want to do. Nothing wrong with that. But I do think that it is highly important to think about it in advance before you go, if you haven't gone yet. And that way, by the time you do go, you can already have your major lined up and you can know specifically what classes you need to be taking. Because every class that you're taking, you're basically paying for it out of your pocket unless you have a scholarship, which is a waste of not only your time, but your money. Another way of making sure that you get the most out of it is, even after you figure it out, make sure you know your options. College is a business in a way. Everything is a business. Everything is meant to recycle money so everybody can have their piece of the pie. People that work at the colleges, professors, faculty, janitors, everybody needs jobs. And everybody needs to be getting paid for those jobs. Otherwise, we would have a lot of homeless or hungry people. The economy could essentially fail as the system of capitalism in the United States doesn't circulate. So I say all that to say, at the end of the day, no matter what their purpose is being there, their purpose is also to make sure that they're attaining that money that they need. Working or being a professor or whatever job they have is an asset towards their income, because that's one of the multiple or possible ways they're making money. Now, I say all that to say, generally, college is a huge liability, but it could flip into an asset later on. It'll open opportunities depending on what you want to do, but the worst part about it is it's a liability because as you build the financial aid that you need to pay back, you can't declare bankruptcy on it. So once you have that debt, it's stuck on you. It's a liability that you can't get rid of. Now, so let's say on the other hand, if you could declare bankruptcy on it, with all due respect, man, it's obvious. I would literally go on through college, and once I finish college, just immediately declare bankruptcy. And that way all of that debt is washed away. But obviously once you declare bankruptcy, college debt is not on that list of things that's going to be cleared, unfortunately. So I'll say all that to say, once you go to college, I think it is highly important to know what you want to do with it, or find it out as you're going through it. Intern when you can, so you can see what you like and what you don't like, and it can help you really map your way out into your future potential career field. You can really narrow down the options. For example, in my field, I have a lot of different variety of options that I can work for. So it is pretty important for me to know what area or what direction I want to go. And then sometimes we choose the wrong area. Some people want to go in one major and that's not really what they want to do. And some people choose the right major, but the job that they're working in is not what they want to do. They want to work in a different field. They just thought they want to work in there because it seems like it appealed to them, and later on they discover it's not for me. They wind up being too stressful, or they take it too personal. Really try to prepare in advance. It's also important to acknowledge that college obviously isn't free. I think a lot of people don't take that as serious as it is. I'm not saying you should stress yourself out, but it's also very important that you know how to really map your options out and really take it with urgency. Try to get it done as soon as possible, as efficiently as possible. And long story short, if you're able to finish in an adequate way, and you're able to bring home some good income later on, not even saying the job, is also a very good option to know, what's the best option. Some people go to college and drop out because they realize the options outside of college are a lot better than the options inside of college. I'm not advocating the idea of dropping out of college either. If college is for you and your best chances at financial stability and happiness is in college and finishing college and getting a degree, or adding the option to the overall scenario that you have, go for it. But if you see anything that's outside of college and you know for sure that it's something you can go for, if you're willing to take the risk and see what's better for you outside of college, no matter what year you're in, you could be a senior or one semester left. Again, not saying you should, not saying you shouldn't, but if you really see that's the best opportunity for you, not only to attain financial stability, but to maintain happiness and really have a sense of autonomy for yourself, then I say go for it. So they just acknowledge that college is a huge liability because you can't declare bankruptcy on it. It's stuck with you until you pay it off, or you die. Unfortunately, let's hope that doesn't come first. But if you know how to efficiently use that degree and use that degree to pay off your loans periodically, or if you're fortunate enough to have a 6 or 7 figure or more job that can pay it off at a more rapid rate than the average one, then yeah, I say go for it. So I just wish everybody the best. That's just my perspective on college when it comes to what it can do for you on a bad and good end, just in a concise way. Hope it helps out. And if you enjoyed this video, or if I helped out with any particular questions pertaining to college and money, please be sure to leave a like for me and subscribe if you want to receive any additional information. I also got my email on my about section of the page, so if you have any questions, I'll be sure to get to that on any particular week, to where I can cover it on a Wednesday or even a Friday. So take it easy, everybody. This is PsychoTutor, and see you Friday. Peace.